Sylvia.
Hi.
It is it is so great to see you again. I know we chatted together last on the ELT rally call, and so many relayers commented on how inspirational you were for them during that time. Let's talk a little bit about your journey and then where you are now in your journey.
Absolutely. So for those that don't know, I am currently fighting breast cancer. I was diagnosed the beginning of May. My first chemo treatment was the beginning of June. And when we talked last, I was coming up on my last one, which would have been close to the end of September. So yay for no more chemo. Yay.
Yay!
Um, After that, I did test positive for the BRCA2 gene mutation. So I went ahead and instead of just doing the lumpectomy that they were talking about, we did the full double mastectomy. And that was a good thing because when they sent everything off for testing, it came back that there was no residual cancer, yay, but there
Yay.
were some precancerous cells. So had I not done the double mastectomy, I could be back here in a year or two doing this all over again. And that's no fun. We don't want to do that. So
Absolutely.
that was a good thing, blessing in disguise. Currently, I am getting ready to do my radiation starting on the 13th, and I will do that for 6 weeks every single weekday. And after that, then we're looking at probably reconstruction. And also, since I did test positive for BRCA2, we're going to be proactive and do a hysterectomy too. That way, again, hopefully, we're not doing this again in a year or two because no fun. Don't do it, guys. If you can be proactive, do it.
Absolutely, Sylvia. I understand. I was diagnosed with cervical cancer 3 months after finishing up my chemo. And so then I had to go through the hysterectomy as well. And just thinking about the number of doctor's appointments and the number of treatments and being able to do that when we were not in a pandemic and thinking about the restrictions that we have now, and I was able to have family members there with me. And I know that has not been your experience. Do you want to talk with us a little bit about what it's been like going through this journey during a pandemic, during COVID, and not having your family with you?
Oh, that has been it's been such a yo-yo because to start off with, my very first like 2 months of treatments, I had to do totally alone. All of my testing I had to do alone. I mean, nobody was allowed in the building if they weren't a patient. Then I was able to have a family member in for my last couple of treatments. And then right back to when it was time for my surgeries and stuff, the closest they could get was the waiting room. And then that was it. They couldn't come back or anything with me. And moving forward with my radiation, they're not allowed in the building at all again because everything just keeps changing. I literally have to call almost every day to be like, what's the rule today? What's the rule today? So I know what to tell my ride. But on the flip side, my oncology team was amazing. And I can't say enough for the doctors and nurses that are there for you to hold your hand when you don't know what's going on because they were amazing through the whole process. And I consider them wonderful friends now, not just my doctors.
I too had a double mastectomy, did not have the gene, but 3 months after finishing up my chemo treatment, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. So I went through a hysterectomy as well. So you will be in my thoughts as you move forward in your journey. And now as we think about Relay 2021, what are you looking forward to most about Relay in 2021?
I really think I'm looking forward to just having that feeling of togetherness again. Even though most of us are going to be doing it virtual or even some virtual, some in person, like the drive-through luminarias, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Even though it's through a computer, getting to see the people that I've missed so much over these past, bunch of months now is going to be just amazing and keeping the spirit going. And that's what keeps me going too. I tell everybody every year, They say I keep them up and going all night long, but it's really them. If they weren't there, if they weren't trying, if they weren't doing the things, I wouldn't be doing the things. So it's everybody keeping us going for it.
What about last year's relay? Because I know you are one of those people that did the DJing and you did a lot to inspire others. What about last year's relayers and the relay itself that really inspired you?
So last year's relay, we decided to do a 24-hour alone. I was like, we're still trying to do 24 hours, but online. Yeah, let's do this because who's doing that? That's crazy. So that right there was just like a big push. And then I ended up being the overnighter, checking in on everybody every so often, keeping them going, asking them to send me a selfie of you next to, something purple or whatever at the time. And then after that, some of my other relays that I do usually attend, they would ask me to either speak for them or play music during their drive through luminary, and just being able to still see so many of them continue on. That was just the biggest thing because we all got that kick in the gut, like, oh no, what do you mean relay's canceled? Like, you can't cancel relay. Cancer isn't canceled. So how can you cancel relay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So being able to just see that everybody was like, nope, it's not canceled. Here we go. It goes right back to the cancer doesn't sleep, so neither do we rule. It was so great to see. And so many people, even from other events, would log on to another event that weekend just to support and to see what they were doing and get ideas. And it was great because it turned into more of a national thing than rather than just, our little bitty town. So that was a huge thing too.
Wow, isn't that amazing to think that in the past we could only attend one relay if it was the same night, but because it was virtual, you could pop into different ones and be inspired and see what others are doing. How amazing was that? Wow, Sylvia, I cannot say enough of how much you inspire me. And I've gone through the journey, but to see you and to hear your story and to hear you going through cancer in this fight during a pandemic, you are amazing. And I cannot thank you enough for giving us an opportunity to catch up with you. But just to hear your story, I'm sorry, but just to hear your story again is amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.